everybody. Welcome back to It's Giving Care. I'm Marissa, your host, and I am excited for another episode. Today, I'm going to talk about 3 things that I think you'll really have to do as you work to prioritize yourself better. I have been thinking about this question for the last week. How can I really prioritize me? Is that really possible? That question came to me when I was at one of my support groups online last week, and the different moms were talking about that. And it was perplexing to me because I was like, with all the stuff I've got going on, I am struggling in this area. I don't know if it's truly possible. And so as I've been really reflecting on it over these past few days and thinking through what that looks like, what came to me was 3 things that I think I know I'm going to have to do better and make non-negotiable in my life. And I think that I'm hopeful that they will apply to you as well. So the 3 things are, first of all, and I've got a little card because I want to make sure that I don't miss anything and that I keep this up somewhere so that I am reminded beyond this. First thing is pick at least one thing that I'm going to be unapologetic about as it relates to something for myself. So that may sound selfish, but it's important to make sure that you have boundaries. We have boundaries, and we find ways to make sure that we are still a priority. We're still important in the very complex equation of caring for our loved ones, whether it's our kids, our parents, whomever. You still have an important part in that, and your needs have to be prioritized too. So I was thinking about, well, what's the unapologetic thing, at least that one thing for me? What it's been for me is getting my nails done once a month. And not a big thing, but making sure that I follow through on that and I save space in my calendar and I work around all of the different responsibilities that we have as a family to make sure that I can steal away for a couple of hours and do something that's important to me. So it's really important to have one thing that you're unapologetically going to do for yourself. It doesn't have to be big, but it is something that you have to really make that peace with. Second thing is creating a system for some of those most critical responsibilities and tasks that you have in your life. So that may not seem like something that is related to a priority for you, but when you think about how if you forget to do something, you overlook it, if you do it too late, some of the causes of anxiety and stress and worry because you didn't follow through on those critical tasks, that's unnecessary stress. Things that you can be able to bypass with more organization and a system. So for me, just as a practical example that made me think about this, just last week, I forgot to contact my dad's doctors and request updated refills for a few of his really important medications. And it wasn't until we had about a day or 2 of that medication left that I was like, oh my gosh, I need to get with the doctor. It was a Friday, so I knew they wouldn't be open on the weekend. So I'm frantically calling the doctor, calling the nurses at the doctor's office, trying to make sure that they got my message and to get those refills over to the pharmacy. And then I'm frantically calling the pharmacy to make sure that they have the meds in inventory and all of this stuff. And I'm getting with my brother to pick them. And that was too much. It was unnecessary to have all of that going on. And so better systems to really get at what is the most critical. Like if I don't do this, something is going to happen kind of thing. Getting good organization around that and having a system, key. The last thing I would say for those really key items is having a space in your home that's really intended to be a place of peace, solace, where you go for being restored, to resting, decompressing, whatever you need to do. Having that space that you can steal away to, even if it's just for a couple minutes. For me, it's my closet. Other people, it could be their bathroom or other random places in their home. But really making sure if you don't have a place like that now, that you find it for yourself. That way you do have that moment to kind of step away, because caregiving responsibilities can be heavy when you're up at all times of night with your loved one, or you're doing all kinds of things. You're doing a lot of medications. all these different things. It can be a lot. So making sure that you have that space and it's inviting. So my closet is where I like to be for that, but sometimes it's a mess. So I've got to definitely make sure that I keep up with keeping it more organized so that I can enjoy it more. So those 3 things, again, unapologetic about at least one thing for yourself, having a system for some of those most critical tasks, and then having that space. This is not an exhaustive list by any means, but these are things that you can do starting today or tomorrow to be more intentional with your prioritizing of yourself. I had a couple extra credit things for me. I'll share them real quick. They may or may not apply to you, but also having better sleep. And so I have a bad habit of going to bed too late. So even shaving off a little bit of time at night to get myself in bed earlier, I really believe that's important to prioritizing myself and getting outside. I mean, I've been wanting to be outside more with having these crazy days that require me to be inside all the time. And so really taking that intentionality of 5 minutes and just getting outside. I could have talked about a lot of other things in other areas where I know I have room to grow, where others may as well. But I think starting small and remembering that, yes, you can prioritize yourself when you're intentional about it and you are looking at opportunities to do that in your everyday life. I'm not in a position to take grand vacations and do all these lavish things right now because of our life structure. And you may be in the same spot, but that doesn't mean that you can't do anything to prioritize yourself. It's not an all or a nothing. So I hope these things were helpful. Contemplate, think about it, reflect for yourself. What does that look like for me? Please share in the comments. I would love to hear from you all on some of the things that you are now thinking about or how you're making better habits to prioritize yourself. And make sure that you come back and check out another episode in the future. Please subscribe, like, share, all the YouTube things. And in the meantime, until we are together again, make sure that you care well. Take care.